Is masculinity under attack, and why?
It has been. It has been to the point that now it can't even express it. It's illegal for it to express itself.
Okay, why? Why?
Why? Why it has been under attack?
Yeah.
It's been that's a good question, boy. Why is masculinity under? Repeat that question again, bro.
Okay.
Say that again.
Is masculinity under attack, and why?
Is masculinity
the powers that be now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting into different,
is.
slightly different field.
Waters, yeah.
The whys and the wheres.
Why is it being under attack? Why is masculinity? It shouldn't be under attack because it's a natural thing, right? So it shouldn't be under attack. So why is it being under attack?
Because there's dark forces.
What do you guys think? Mo, go on. What do you think? Because I'm gonna go into something else. Like I know where I'm gonna go to.
I think if you look at the root of why masculinity would ever be under attack, you kind of have to go back again to feminism, which was like one of the biggest attackers of masculinity.
But what's the driving force? What's the root driving force
I
to
think
shut down masculinity?
This is a tricky one.
It has to be demonic. It has to be. It
has to take it.
You have to go to the root. Like if you want the solution, you go to the root of the problem. Everything else is just playing around with the symptoms, playing around with the effects. If you're not gonna address it at the root, at the cause, then you're not ever gonna remedy it. Maybe that's why it hasn't been remedied. No one's figured out a way because they're not willing to go that deep.
If it is demonic and they are trying to destroy masculinity, are they? At what level is masculinity being destroyed? Is it only at the grassroots level? Is it only at the working people's level, or do you think they're destroying masculinity at the top demonic level as well?
Yeah.
Like they're destroying their own masculinity.
Yeah,
like, you have to look at it like this.
All levels.
They're not just. It's not just masculinity that's being destroyed; it's femininity as well.
Yeah.
Now, why would someone want to destroy something that is biological and that helps and favors humanity? Why would someone, whatever this thing is that wants to do that, is obviously anti-life? Because masculinity is a natural product of our biology. So is femininity. That's what allows us to be attracted to each other. That's what allows us to come together and have families. That's what establishes order. That's what establishes the productive growth, you know what I'm saying, in society and so on and so forth. So if they're trying to destroy that, you're absolutely right. Feminism has been working extremely hard from all angles to destroy that. From the economic side as well as from the moral side, you name it. They've been working extremely hard to destroy that. So whatever this is must be anti-life. Yes. And we can see it's anti-life because of what it has produced. We can see that the depopulation is occurring as a result of it. People are not having nuclear families. Population growth has come down. These are the results of it. Do you see what I'm saying? These are the results of it. So we can tell that whatever this is anti-life. Now the question was why? Why do they want to do that? Why do they? I think, you see, when you look at the timeline, when you look at what's happening, it usually tells you whatever's happening right now in today's world. It usually tells you what they want. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, the introduction of alternative family structures that are not necessarily male and female orientated, same-sex marriages, so on and so forth. I mean, they're going as far as teaching it in schools, right? Why would they want that? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't produce children. Do you see where I'm coming from? So it's like, if you keep going down that, okay, because we can see the attack on the nuclear family, we can see that men and women are no longer coming together and producing families, and then we can see that the powers that be are promoting alternative family structures that are not conducive to necessarily family creation. I mean, you even saw, what's his name, Tomasi say, avoid family creation. So that's telling you where we're heading. You know what I'm saying? So they obviously want to kill masculinity in order to introduce what? Alternative family structures. Okay. I mean, we can go into how the whole how they're killing masculinity and femininity.
Okay,
We can go into that.
Just want to follow that point. Okay, so they're killing the family structure.
Yeah, the nuclear family. Yeah.
The nuclear family, which is going to have an effect on the population.
It has already, yeah.
So the human population is declining as an effect of all this.
Of all this, yeah.
Okay, let's run with that and say, okay, why? Because this is obviously leading to the destruction of the human race.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why we still haven't got to that driving force of the motivation. Like,
I didn't want to get into. I didn't want to get into what Kobe did, yeah, because what Kobe, it's like you have to. You see, you went straight for the. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
I went straight for the headshot.
It's like cool, because it's important. It's important for people to understand
style.
It's important for people to understand the steps so that next time they can do a logical exercise of how to get to. You know what I mean? So to me, it's to accept. Why is for example, so they'll have control of the people that are born. There's an advantage to that, you know what I mean, to have control of people that are born, because they're going to be introducing a new way of thinking. They're going to do. There's been a moral shift. I don't know if you guys have realized how people used to think before 1950s and how people think now. There has been a moral shift. Now we are operating under do as thy will way of thinking, and that moral shift, okay, will lead us to a new way of thinking, a new ideology. You might as well call it a new religion. I call it the Luciferian religion. So people will become, how do I say this, more susceptible to this, more open to this belief system. Do you see what I'm saying? I always told you it's a generation's game. Yeah. So the next generation is weaker. They introduce all the things that will kind of, like everything that you're seeing now, from the abortions to all of this is all part of this ideology, this grand ideology that will eventually be introduced into the world and will eventually become normalized. So the population is very important for them, because they want to be able to control people to the level of farming people. Yeah, when you start controlling people to that level where you dictate how many should be born and how many shouldn't. Why? Because you want them to be more accepted, and they're going to be born into this religion, into this new ideology of theirs.
It's almost like they're going to get to a certain point where they're going to be like, right, we've killed off enough of the human race.
Yeah.
Now we need some more. Let's change let's change the ideologies of what everyone should be thinking.
Yeah, but
that's what they're trying to do.
No, but
that's what they're trying to do.
Sorry, bro. But they're already doing it. They've been doing it. They've been people, like what people think, what people used to think is morally right back then. People no longer think like that. Do you see what I'm saying? People are becoming more acceptant of the new things that they're introducing in society. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and so on. And again, this is not to go against anyone from the LGBT. No one is saying you can do whatever. What the Solution podcast mainly has an issue with is this ideology being taught, LGBTQ being taught in schools. Right. This is what being taught to children. This is what we are against.
To innocence.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's an easy recruiting ground, isn't it?
It is, because that's when they're most impressionable, and they know this. I think we have two different styles of processing things, because like you said before, like it sounds like, because for me, I like to start at the top and work my way down to the bottom. So I get to the core of the problem, and then we see if it fits everywhere. If you see if this core problem is the common denominator in all the problems universally, that means you've got the universal principle. That means we can find a practical solution to attack the core. But if you're going from the bottom up, because not everybody's a spiritual, not everybody's believes in universal principles and truth and stuff, they work their way up and get to a point of understanding which is not the highest, but is acceptable to them because of their own level of consciousness, and they just dwell in this middle area, not coming to the practical solution. Like, if you want to do it that way, then we'll never get to the solution. It will be forever before we get to the solution. Like, I advise we get to the root of the cause, and then we can find the solution. This is the Solution podcast, man.
Amen.
This is the solution, man. Unless you want to just entertain the simple, the the lower degree solutions and then marginally work your way up. You're never gonna find the solution in the mid areas. It's just not gonna happen that way.
So we have to be extreme.
Yeah, you got to get to the extreme. Yeah, to the highest truth, to the highest extreme, and work your way down.
I would say there's something stopping people from getting to or having that understanding that Colby's advocating for, and in Christian ideology we call that sinful nature. That's how they are able to control you. That's why all these temptations that lead so many men astray are so highly available in society today. And that's why before, when Christianity used to have more of a hold on society, that's why people used to be shamed. I mean, they used to be shame would be like a big. It's like, oh, you're pregnant and you're not married yet. Like, but now what they've done is they've kind of like, through the sinful nature, they can control people and how fast people come to that understanding of right and wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Like right now, the way people are realizing what is right very late in life, and by then it's too late. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's almost like that they flipped the meaning of sinful nature to be good.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing
so
to be,
like, or to be accepted.
Yeah. The Bible says in the future people will call good bad and bad good, and this is exactly what we do now. We call good things bad and bad things good.
And the way that happen is that they get sold these ideas. They get sold these messages because they don't have a foundation of a strong reference point. They're open to these suggestions. They're exposed.